my wonderful people, welcome to my platform. If it is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel for the first time, you are welcome. I beg you for a favor after watching. If you like what I do here, please subscribe, put on your notification bell. That is very, very important because it will enable you to know when I upload a new video. I present to you news on daily basis about what is happening in the whole world, especially in Nigeria and in Biafran land. Before I present the news, I analyze it and I sit down there together to watch it with you. Then we'll come to the comment section to talk about it. You are free to criticize, to drop your opinion, but let us do it constructively as we watch this video together. I appreciate your massive support. Let's watch the video now.
Well, let's move on to speak about what Garba Shehu, the presidential aide, said about dismissing claims of preferential treatment in the handling of matters concerning bandits. Now, he mentioned that the handling of matters concerning bandits and other people posing threats to the nation's stability, that is, Nigeria's stability in the northern region of the country, is unfair. Now, Shehu, who was asked in an interview with BBC Pidgin on Saturday why the federal government had not declared bandits and criminal herdsmen terrorists or outlawed them just as it prescribed, Ipob, alleged that was, what the Buhari-led administration has done to bandits is worse than declaring them terrorists. Now, he said that while there is a subsisting order by the president to shoot any bandit on sight, there is no such order, against the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. Now, Garba Shehu also claimed that progress is being made in the fight against bandits. And now people are starting to ask, how do you juxtapose his statement with recent reports of the rehabilitation, of, that is, Boko Haram insurgents who have actually surrendered. Now, what he's saying basically is that there is no preferential treatment for the bandits. In fact, there is a shoot-on-sight order for any AK-47 wielding, bandits or terrorists or however you may deem to call them. So in response to what he's saying, people are now asking, how do you juxtapose the fact that these are people that we've been told to treat with kindness and love and forgiveness? These are people that are now being rehabilitated and brought back into the society, with the fact that with regards to people of the Ipob, it's very harsh, it's very direct, it's very strict. I don't see anyone saying that. I won't even advise anyone to even give such an order of forgiveness or love. So basically, I believe that he was responding as a result of the disparity in treatment that a lot of people have been complaining about lately.
Well, words matter, language matters. You cannot call terrorists bandits because the appellation goes to how they will be treated and how they're addressed is extremely significant. It reminds me of this really important passage, as for me, the best part of George Orwell's 1984. When the revolution is complete, the language will be perfect. Talking about how the government, the thought police, will remove certain words out of the lexicon so they will no longer be bad, it will be ungood. So this is how language is dumbed down and issues are diluted such that it loses its meaning. These are terrorists and they should be called terrorists. It also brings to mind the KKN protests in 90s Indonesia against Suharto. KKN, when they're spelling in Indonesian, collusion, corruption, and nepotism. It appears that this government is in collusion with these people. If you continue to sort of dance around the obvious fact that we are not dealing with banditry, it is an obvious fact. Any other argument is not just wholly unconvincing, it is an insult, quite frankly. And I'm sure Garba Shehu pointing out improvements in his mind. Have you ever heard of anybody being shot on sight? The president's directive. Has it actually been carried out? Why? Because that famed body language is there. He has said one thing, but in other ways, it's clear that that mandate is lacking. Nobody has been shot on sight, quite frankly. Who have you heard has been shot on sight? I haven't. I really haven't. So the language spoken and non-verbal is quite clear. And for me to have to say, we've talked about corruption with regards to this government and previous governments, nepotism with regards to this government, it's a shame we have to now start to discuss collusion as if we're Indonesian back in the 90s. It's completely wrong and it's unacceptable. I find it actually quite insulting, this statement by Garba Shehu. I find it offensive. Nobody feels any safer in Nigeria today. So I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, as a man with some experience in the kind of job that Garba Shehu is doing, I've always said that vulnerability is not necessarily an advantage, it's not an asset in that kind of job. When a spokesperson becomes vulnerable, responds to everything, comments on impulse on everything, then of course you are likely to start making mistakes and and be seen to be a bit insensitive. Garba Shehu was speaking on a program on BBC, the BBC Pidgin program, and the question was put to him, and in an attempt to defend the administration, he made this statement about the president having done worse than he ever did to any other group in Nigeria, to the bandits. And then, of course, if you look at the front page of The Sun today, the Sun newspaper says, presidency under fire. Virtually every group in Nigeria, including groups from the north, have condemned what Garba Shehu has said, because he's trying to compare the terrorists in the north with Ipob. It's really the height of insensitivity. It is provocative. I hope that perhaps, as is the fashion in Nigeria, by the end of the day, we'll probably say that BBC quoted him out of context, or that Pidgin not being his primary means of communication, that whatever he said was misinterpreted. What is clear, the sum of the reaction by all the groups and persons who spoke in that report by D0N, is that one, that the administration of the day, is partial when it comes to terrorists from the north, and those they call bandits. Two, all the various commentators from Afenifere to Aneze Ndigbo to Middle Belt Forum to key persons in society are also saying that, look, to the extent that these are persons who are responsible for the abduction of over 1,000 school children, the killings of persons in Jos North, Jos South, and Basa local government area in Jos, and also in parts of Benue, and also in Kaduna State, we have seen abductions. In fact, there was a latest development in Kaduna where the son of Senator Ibn Allah, was strangled in his own house. We commiserate with his family, but nobody should be subjected to that kind of treatment. So are those people too, are they bandits? People who go about strangling, a young man who just got married and who has a right to life. So, you can have a long list. So I think even on this program, we have often said that, look, these are no longer bandits. These are terrorists. You can't be using a milder phrase to describe them. How do you explain that to persons who are in internally displaced persons camps? How do you explain, a softer label to people who have lost their children, their family members? So this is the issue, but I think that going forward, spokespersons just need to be more careful, and for all of us to ensure that we should not play politics with criminality. We should not play ethnic or religious politics or any kind of politics with crime. When people commit a crime and, under the law, that crime is written into law, of course, government should be seen to be clamping down on those people. Garba Shehu says the Air Force, the Nigeria Air Force, is bombing the forests on a daily basis and has made significant protests. Yes, we appreciate the work of our, soldiers. We need to continue to praise them so that they can help us, protect this environment. But terrorism, these are real issues in Nigeria, and we need to do a lot more. Garba Shehu should just have stopped at the level of saying government is trying its best. Government will continue to do more. But to begin to compare bandits with or terrorists with Ipob, no, I think that's going a little bit too far.
So, what saddens me in this country is hypocrisy. And it is very sad when we do this. Commiserations to all the lives lost. And it is sad that there are still a lot of children in captivity in this country because of terrorists. And now we play politics on nomenclature. I mean, we're like Tundu said, from time immemorial, revolutions will always tweak the narrative and the statements. You know, just like the French revolutionaries did when they were trying to change the month of the year. In fact, they changed it. So they had other months of the year just to be able to suit them and suit their narrative. But did it work in the end? No. Let's stick to the facts. The truth has to be said. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What you do speaks so loud I can't hear what you say." So if we are saying something and we are doing another thing, then there's a problem somewhere. And secondly, I remember the words of Father Martin de Mola that said at first they came for the socialists, I didn't speak up. Then they came for the unionists, I didn't speak up. Then they came for the Jews, I didn't speak up because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was nobody to speak for me. Let's call a spade a spade. Terrorists are terrorists. No comparison. No juxtaposition. Just like when people say open grazing is not good for us. Don't start comparing them with spare part sellers. They're two different things. Let's stick to what it is. Terrorists are terrorists. Don't compare them with any other person, with IPOB or anything. Terrorists are terrorists. Because it will get to the time that they will come for you. And we
Thank you for always watching Linda's TV show. I will see you again in my next video. Remain blessed. I appreciate each and every one of you, and keep on watching Linda's TV show. If you have not yet subscribed, please, I beg you to do that so that you'll be getting more updates from me. Bye bye.